Hey guys, Dib the Awesome here to give you yet another exciting Monster Legends guide. We talk about monsters' moves, rune sets, partners, all of that jazz. As you know, as per in the past, I now stream these guides. So if you see these in the live future, boom, you can see it for words. You can see it first. Now I haven't done in a video in a while. It was the last one I did was pretty sad. It was just sad. It was a very dark matter, but today we'll bring up a little light monster, a light matter. So let's do that by talking about a dark monster. Damn it! I ruined the joke. I ruined the joke, guys. They could say that joke really sucked. Hey, get it because it's the dice monster's a leech. It's a leech, my boys. It's a it's a little leech. Acceptable names include little leech. Resident Evil, 2020. uh, yeah, those are just a few names that are acceptable when you're naming your Moochy. Now, believe it or not, I really think they took a design note from Nemesis, from the Resident Evil 2020 Resident Evil Nemesis game, because they decided, hey, you know what'd be cool if we just slap a nose on this thing, and like look at that knocker on top of his forehead, like look at it. Like they took a page right from Nemesis. They say, "Hey, let's add a nose to make it scary." No, it doesn't make it scary. It makes it stupid. Like, boom, slap a picture of 2020's Nemesis, and boom, the original Nemesis. See the difference? Yes, the one on the right's more terrifying because it doesn't have a knocker. Adding a knocker does not make it, horrifying. It's like ew, ew. I have to look at that the whole game. All I can focus on is his nose. It's like ew. That's a big old knocker. But anyway, you guys didn't come here to, list or hear my critiques and design, even though I think this is one of the better design monsters in the game, minus the nose on the forehead. It's a really huge eyesore. I think that's a nose anyway. I'm assuming it's a nose. It's just hard to look at. Look at that knocker on his forehead. Like, or on top of his head or whatever. It's whatever his head's may be, but it's like, you know what I mean. Believe it or not, this is actually the burstiest burst monster in the game officially now, at 150, without its trait being disabled. This is the burstiest monster in the game. What do I mean by burstiest? I mean, one skill completely annihilates. If you are running 2 damage runes, like X runes we're talking about here, at 150, you will knock out pretty much anything. It is actually disgusting, the astronomical damage you do. Oofta. It's a lot, in all honesty. And on top of that, they decided to give this thing an essence. So once you get it to rank like 1, essence, give it an Uriel's essence, it is a really good... I like to call this thing a war coin stealer, because essentially that's what this thing is. It's really unfair. I don't like this thing at all in terms of the sense of team war, because it just steals coins. Like, you slap this on a base, run an Uriel's essence. If they kill it, it still gets a turn, and if they don't kill it with DOTs, right? As how Uriel essence work is, if you die from DOT, it skips the turn when you revive, right? I mean, that's considered your turn. Because when you die from the DOTs, you've already had your turn. Right? It's like, oh, hey, there you go. Yeah, you move after several people. No, but when you die, like from an attack, you get to go on as usual. It's like, oh, hey, I'm dead. Boom, back to life. Turn order is back to the way it was, and now I get to move, and now I get to murder. That's how Moochy goes. So if you kill Moochy naturally, it's a huge bad play on the player's part. But really, it's a natural play, though. It's nothing the player is or does. It's just because of how essence work. Essence is baloney. Essence is a huge pain. This guy has it, so it's really annoying. I think it's just annoying just by the sheer fact he gets damage boost permanently. It's his trait. We'll talk about that in a moment. Let's talk about the base stats real quick. So life, it's got 53k. Pretty solid. Not the tankiest life for monsters in the game, for mythics. But, it's still tanky, if you're comparing it to Legends. So it's alright. I wish it was higher because its speed stat is really low for a mythic. Actually, it's a really slow mythic. So I wish the life was a little bit more. But to be fair, the damage it does is absurd. So I guess they had to balance something out. Though I think it being slow balanced it up enough. So I don't really know because people aren't even gonna run the life runes on this anyway. So I don't know. What do you guys think about the comment section below? Do you guys feel like him being slow is a better, like is enough of a punishment, or do you really need him to be squishy too? Because I don't know why they make these lifesteal monsters squishy. I don't know, but something compels them to make it squishy. Like if you look back at all the lifesteal monsters in history, a lot of them were squishy. Why why are they so squishy? All these lifesteal monsters has like life came back, but it doesn't do you any good if you die. I don't know. Power is 5,720. Not that it has any problem in this department, given the fact you get damage boost. But this being a really high stat does actually matter, especially when you hit ranks 2 or 3. You will see results if if you're dealing with rank 2s or 3s, right? If you use this on like a rank, it's just gone. It's gone. I'm doing pretty good today. Thank you for asking. But you can really see a huge impact when all is equal, or like they're not tanky, right? If you're like your defense is not tanky, it will kill it. Even if like it's crazy because you get the damage boost. You have quite a few skills that do really nice damage, even though they're low numbers. Like the damage boost mechanics, it's like for mythics, it's absurd. But just so you know, this power is really good. And it's absurd when you hit like max rank. For sure, at least 3 or 4. You start to see real damage at 3 or 4, but when you're rank 5, you kill anything. This includes tanks. So speed at 4,576. Despite this being a low stat, you'd say, hey Dib, why would you run a speed on this? Now, truth be told, everyone's running a speed on it. Now, it's not actually to outrun anything. To be honest, you will never outrun anything that's not running the only thing you're going to outrun when you run a speed rune on Moochy is things that aren't running a speed rune for mythics or legends in general. Like when you're a mythic monster at some point, like with the ranks, you become faster than mythics mythics legends at 130 with full speed runes. It's just for that priority. And this thing automatically says no to basically every legend in the game. This thing kills every single legend in the game. And it's probably even at the start of 2. It's disgusting. Like, but that's why you're on the speedrun. It's more so just for the priority. It doesn't really amplify your sustainability at all. If anything, you die not earning a life rune, especially in the mirror matchup immediately. But that's the game in the game anyway. The name of the game anyway right now is just damage kills. It doesn't even seem to be a point to run a life rune on it because you're in a mirror matchup, you die. So that's why everyone's been running speedruns. If you run, like, seen any of the videos like Armor Gaming and Monster Gaming, they're running speedruns on it. If you see any other videos, they're running a speedrun on it. It's just what you do. It outpaces legends, and then, you outspeed anyone, and then you do damage to them. It's nice. Just given the situation. Now this is going to be the fun part. We're going to talk about its traits right now. The traits are Harden at rank 0. This is actually, I think, garbage. Dude, I hate Harden. I hate Tough, and I hate Bulwark. Know why? Because everything nowadays just seems to have True Vision. Like, it seems guaranteed that all your effects land nowadays. Like, I just hate Harden. I hate Tough, and I hate Bulwark. They don't work anymore in terms of like dealing with. Name one time a Ragnarok didn't get stunned by a cat UFO or like Moonhaze, because Moonhaze has True Vision. And it's just getting really pointless. We even got a support monster that gives everyone precision at the beginning of the game. So as all these monsters with guaranteed effect landings like come into the game, this stuff becomes irrelevant, like the Hardens and Tough, because they're not doing anything. They keep getting precision. It doesn't matter. It bothers them. But it gets Harden at rank 0. If you're not dealing with things that don't have precision boosts, it's nice. It's not necessarily good for anything else. We'll do gameplay on it another time. I just want to talk about the most for today. I will do a review later. I just don't have any of the necessary things done to do a live review. But this is basically a live guide, so that's the second best thing. Rank 1, you get damage increase. This is the big rave nowadays. Now, fun fact, this is actually a pretty big deal. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a discovery secret here. If you recall the monster, the War Master, Fire Monster, Barbael, Barbael actually has a passive that gives everyone on his team 50% increased damage. This isn't the first time a monster has gotten this. In fact, the first monster that got this is the monster, the War Master I just told, right? This actually stacks. If you guys didn't know, this will actually stack with Barbael's passive, meaning you permanently have double damage if you pair this up with Barbael. That is so dumb. Like, this thing just gets permanent damage, like double damage if you run it with Barbael. That's crazy. Like, it's 100% crazy. So, if you pair with Barbael, you get double damage. It is the only monster in the game right now that works like that. Unless I forgot a monster that also did area damage boost. But, yeah, Barbael does, like, area 50%. So it stacks with this. That's double. So, you could probably run Barbael with, full team speed, put it on defense. It's not really a, guaranteed, busted defense unless you're doing like full on 6, like two monsters with full level 10, team speed, right? But you could do that. That's something you could do. And if they don't have anything to outpace the Moochy or have any strategy to counter it, you are guaranteed to kill something. Like, that's just how big it is. So if you deck like 2 team speed monsters, like 2 full team speeds and Moochy, and they can't outpace that, you're in a great spot. I think like a 150, or rank 4 Moochy doing that strategy is pretty dumb if they don't have an answer to it. This is a very, very big deal going forward with the game. Now, we might get this in the future with an even more busted monster, but for right now, Moochy's the man with it. Plus, we just got a life increase monster, Gluboo, that does the same thing. They're basically making monsters now with passive stat increases for traits, and that's not necessarily bad. If anything, it could actually be really busted moving forward, because Mythics already have good stats to begin with, and you're telling me they get more stats if their traits are still active? Like passively, like naturally. This goes into so many different things. So this could be better in the future. We could get an even more busted monster than Moochy. But for right now, I think Moochy is really terrifying because of that. Because he got Essence too. Because remember, we talked about that at the very beginning, where if you kill this thing, he can just come back with 30 Essence. And if you kill him with the attacker, if it's your attacker and then the enemy Moochy, it's not a good idea to kill him outright, because you will instantly lose a monster. Again, if you don't have any defensive measure for it, you instantly will lose something. If it's a ruined, ranked up Moochy, you will kill something. Especially a 1, and it's like, let's pretend everyone was ranked 1, right? You will probably Oko things, like instantaneously. It's just dumb. But yeah. I also can hold, wait. Rank 3. Now, this is something everyone's upset about Moochy, is it got, like, not really Abomination. It got, like, the Spellcaster possession immunity, and that's not necessarily good, because you can remove it. After, like, 2 or 3 turns, this goes away. This is just the beginning of the game. So things like Moon Haze and the new Thunder Mythic we just got that possesses can't actually go for a possession move that first turn, essentially. They have to get rid of this before they can possess them. But the thing is, like, Moon Haze can stun you. It doesn't have to go for possession. And then with the new Mythic, Legendary Mythic, we just got the Thunder one for the race. She can just cooldowns activate you, and this thing hates that too. So that's also a big deal. I think this is garbage. I think they need to stop doing this to Mythics, man. Like these like start buff passives are just trash. They just are. They're not. They're only good at the beginning of the game, not like late game. And that's such a big deal. Books, you are for whatever reason an evil Legion monster, even though we have like a whole encyclopedia of evil Legion monsters. Sure, why not? Let's just keep making evil Legion monsters until the day we get like an evil Legion hater everyone actually uses. So, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Families, it's in the family book. That's really nice, and it's in Underworlds. Underworld has a lot of undead monsters that are very popular. Specifically, I do believe Necromancer and Ragnarok. So that's pretty nice. This is a good answer to both of those things. Did you know you can positive effect damage boost him too? Yep. Because it's just, it's not like a buff, yeah. You can use taunt on taunt monsters. It's the same thing, yeah. Yeah, you can stack, like if, I guess I should have been more clear with that too. If you actually run a monster that gives the area, let's say Ukaduma, let's say you pair this thing with Ukaduma, right? It does area damage boost, and you have Barbael. Let's say for whatever reason you have Ukaduma Barbael with this man. You use Ukaduma's buff, you actually get that as a 50% too. So you can have the 50% from Moochy, 50% from Barbael, and then 50% from, your support that just applied 50%. This totals up to basically 150. Nice. Really, really nice. But yeah, you can do different things. This also includes double damage, triple damage. Triple damage, you will kill things. I'd be surprised if you don't kill things with triple damage and then damage boost. That's 350% power on a mythic. That's amazing. 350, oh god. 130 with a 350 damage boost. That's nuts. But yeah, some moves. I'm gonna talk about them. Leech. I think everyone should run this skill. It's a low damage dark skill that gives as much life as damage dealt. It's not 50%, it's not 25%, it's full on. Whatever damage you do, you get it back, and being the fact this thing runs a damage boost, it'll be really nice. It doesn't matter that this is 25 damage. Put it in this perspective that you're running 2 damage at the very least, and probably 10s. It's really substantial, the amount of life you get back. Even for a spammable skill, and it's another reason too you could say it doesn't care about its cooldowns being active, because you can just, shed some damage off whatever you do to him, right? I think that's only logically applied to when he's not denied, because again, he's not immune to deny. So as long as he doesn't get like chain deny, right, this is an okay answer to go with. Foul Teeth, low physical damage, applies poison. I don't think this thing needs DOT to win. So I don't think you need this skill. I don't think it's anything you need. It's also a 1-turn cooldown. So yeah, I don't think it's worth running. How big can it be? I'm pretty sure somewhere in between these lines it's an inappropriate joke. Somewhere in between the lines here. I'm just assuming so, because it gives it a damage boost and double its maximum life. This could be a very utilitative skill. Now, I think this goes along the lines of being possessed. Let's say you are possessed, right? If you do this skill, you have double more life. That means they're less likely to kill you. So that's a good, like, situational thing. I wouldn't use this in control play, but maybe on defense it wouldn't be bad, because I would rather him not murder anyone on my team. So I'd say this is a good defense skill. Running it on defense, because if it does this and it's just a single possession, just 1-turn possession, it's not a bad thing to fall on. Noxus Slime is a area poison and physical weakness skill to all enemies. This is a 2-turn cooldown. I think it's worth running. Being the fact he can amplify physical damage, and you know why this is going to be dumb soon, because he also obviously has a physical lifesteal skill. So it's pretty much a must-have skill to run. This will also make dark monsters weak to the skill, so you can just call him like Brutalis. I think Brutalis is a good example. Not Brutalis, Brutalizer. I know why I call him Brutalis, but Brutalizer. Brutalizer is going to hit this, and this is going to be a good clean, clear. Feeding Frenzy increases its healing to itself. Okay, so this is important. Listen to this. Applies increased healing to itself, deals dark damage, and gain as much life as done. Before the damage calc is calculated, you are given a increased life buff, and you get as much life as you deal. But keep in mind, this can be manipulated through damage boosts, double damage, triple damage. Basically, you get all your life back. If you use this on a squishy, you will get whatever you get plus some. It doesn't even like you deal. The more damage you do, more life you get. It doesn't even have to be like there. It's not even limited to their max life. Like if you do like a gazillion damage, you get a gazillion life back. That's not what the logic behind that is. You get as much life as the damage is dealt. I think that's why people stopped saying 100%. Well, basically, that's not 100% life. That means like you get as well. I guess that would be 100%. I don't know why the weird word it like that, because back in the day it was like 100% life steal, 50% life steal. You gain as much life as damage dealt. I don't know if that's considered 100% life steal. Oh, that would be considered 100% life steal. I don't know. I don't know why they just gonna stay 100% life steal. So you just get all your life back. that is literally, dude. You'll never have over the life deal in damage, right? So they should just said 100% heal. But you have increased healing, so now you get more life plus then some. Okay, so I'd say run the skill. It's just a good skill to use when you are dying. Like you will get all your life back. This is a really unfair skill, and I think you should run it. It's just a good fallback plan. If they can't kill Moochy to begin with, and you use the skill, yeah, it's pretty good. Because keep in mind, your sole objective is to steal war coins. Most of the time, when you're on defense in war, your main objective is just to have the enemy lose a coin, if anything. And Moochy's a great job at that, especially if they're not considering the Uriel's essence. Yeah, you just steal a coin from. So I'd say around that. It's nice. Perfect hospitality. Deals moderate earth physical damage. Applies double damage to itself. I'd say this is a choice skill. Getting double damage is really, really nice, but it is only for a single turn. I have looked at to see how long the buff lasts. It is only a single turn. So it's up to you whether or not it's worth running. I'd say run it in situations they're going to tank you. If they can't actually tank you. I'd say run it, why not, in terms of when you need it. If you don't have to. But based on the skills here, you probably are going to run it. Sandworm Snack. Removes shield from one enemy, deals heavy physical damage to one enemy, and gives as much life as damage done. This is actually one of the most powerful skills in the game right now in terms of an attacker, because it ignores shields. That means even like a tomb shield, like Blaza's shield isn't that big, but like just any shield, like anything that applies shielding, it just ignores it. Like the full min skill at the beginning of the game, there's like another monster, I forgot, it's like a brain freeze monster that's metal. That's the last metal monster that we got for legendaries. That one gives a full area shield at the beginning of the game. It ignores this, so there's no way to really shield this unless you do like the phobic shields, right? The like damage only specific shields. I don't know if this removes those too. I just know that it removes shielding, so this is really nice for those matchups, because a lot of support monsters like to shield. Ignores it. That means you will just kill it outright. Now, this isn't like an instant kill skill. This is like 55 damage. And if anything, it's one of the, I'd say medium damage skills. But keep in mind, you got 50% damage boost in your attack stat. Is very impressive for a mythic master. This is one of the higher damage skill, stats seen. So it's really nice. I think this is a really good skill. And based on just saying both monster gaming and armor use this monster, it's actually like 150. Yeah, it does a lot of damage. Yeah, this doesn't seem like a whole lot, but it does more when Moochy uses it. Yeah, it does more. It's like 150. Yeah, well, it's because of the damage boost amplification. Yeah, it's more. Just so you know, it's more than what you guys see. It's 55 on paper, but it does like a gazillion when you're ranked up. It does a lot. So moves you obviously run. You want to run both of tier 3. Tier 2, yeah. Like honestly, and then well, no, you run tier 3. You run either Feeding Frenzy or Noxious Slime. Or no, I say this. No, wait 1 second. For tier 3, you're on Sandworm, Snack. For tier 2, Noxious Slime. And then from there, you can be whatever. But I like Leech. You can spam it. Nah, they won't nerf it. No, they won't. Because, see, here's the thing with Monster Legends, if you're new to it. They actually don't nerf things unless it's a bug. Like as far as I'm concerned, well, I guess they changed Deny. That's not 100% true. But once a monster is released, they never usually change it. They don't go like, oh, hey, we're going to do a whole rework. Not unlike other mobile games, which is nice. Given examples include DX2, like Shimigami Tensei. They're always changing monsters, always changing mechanics. They're either making things better because they made like a monster I had for the longest of time, which had a great concept, but like it didn't get into anything. They buffed that. They changed how that worked. It was amazing now. So it's actually top tier. So it's really nice. That's a good example. But for Monster Legends, once a monster has been released, unless it's been bugged or glitched, like, Dharma's Bodyguard, for example, they changed it back to how, they changed how that worked. But, so that's the only time they're ever changing monsters. This monster, as it is right now, it is a released monster. They will not change it, ever. Unless it's been confirmed that there is a bug. This is the monster we have, so they won't ever change, because they haven't like buffed any of their past monsters. They haven't given anything new, and if anything, they just nerf things. They make like small changes, like if it's game breaking, like Rusty God had a nerf where he couldn't do now it removes buffs. Before that, it didn't remove buffs, and it just deactivated cooldowns. It was amazing. They nerfed that. I think that's the one rare time they nerfed something, but that was just because of how. Yeah, this is the thing. It's just how it worked. I don't know what their justification for it, or maybe they intended it to do as that. But you get my point. They rarely ever change anything in the game, because once a monster is out, they usually just leave it. But yeah, you're on Sandwich, you're on Noxious Slime for sure. Physical weakness can apply to even other monsters like Nor or Erdir. Erdir also use physical damage, I believe. Leech for spammable damage if you're fighting cooldowns activate. If you're not too concerned about it, you don't have to run Leech. You can run the Feeding Frenzy. But yeah, so you run Sandwich, run Noxious, Leech, and then either your choice of Feeding Frenzy, Hospitality, or how big can it be in terms of situations? That's it for it, really. Pairings real quick. I think this thing is busted with Resurrectors. Right off the bat, if this thing dies for whatever reason more than once, bringing a Reser is highly advised, especially extra turn Resers like Necromancer and Ragnarok, for example. They can bring them back. They give them an extra turn, and then they he kills everything. Lord Dan, if you have him ranked up, I think that's a great partner too. You run Lord Dan, you run a top monster, run this thing. It doesn't even matter if they're running a deny monster, especially if you manipulate it where Lord Dan still goes first. Now this is a situation where you have better stuff, right? If you're running like you go before. But I guess that wouldn't work. I guess make a Megaton. Maybe this would work better with like a Megaton monster, right? You're on a Megaton monster. Make it slower than the deny, but then you can, cleanse effects and all that stuff. Just the point being able to avoid being denied. You can run monster. That's what I usually like to do. Like when I first got my Bismuth, a lot of people raised questions or eyebrows when I started running a level 3 rune on it for the longest of time. And I'm like, the reason why I do that is in the turn order, Wormlad would always go before Abysmus, so I would always be able to clear any consequences, deny, because Abysmus isn't immune to deny. But since I had area dodge on Wormlad, it didn't matter if they did an area deny skill, because before Abysmus would go, Wormlad would go, and cleanse that. So they can kind of manipulate it like that, where you can run an area dodge monster and just kind of cleanse Moochy if he gets denied. Just one of the things you can do. It's not so, practical, but that's something you could do in war if you see the opportunity to do so. I'd say double Megaton. You run, okay, so this is a just straight up idea here. Run double Megaton, right? Run full tanks. Why not? You run 2 double Megatons. Maybe one could be full team speed, but hey, why not? Run one full team speed. Maybe 2 team speed on the other one plus 2 lives. Your main objective here is just to have the other tanks whale everything while you just one-shot things. It's not too practical if the enemy is running like like Ariel's essence, like they can like take your deaths, like the kills. But for the most part, you shouldn't have any problem killing Wormland or Grakon. I think this thing OHKOs them. Because again, this thing is designed to kill any legend in the game. If you are running this monster at like rank 1 with good runes, you shouldn't have any problem killing anything. Like legends specifically, this thing kills legends easy. There's no effort involved. It gets a 50% damage boost running 2 10s. I think it can kill pretty much anything, and especially if you run full damage. Like, if you do decide to run full damage, you will see results. You will kill things in one hit. It's not a practical build to go full damage, because you get outsped, right? You want to give the enemy more turns to punish you. But let's say you do go full damage and you make a way where them going multiple turns doesn't matter. Then it becomes a big deal. Then you will destroy anything. It's beautiful. You will see so much numbers. Not even Barbatos, one of the old monsters of old, could ever like do the amount of damage you do. Especially like if ranked out Moochy with full damage, he would just jaw drop at how much numbers are in the game. I don't even think the game can comprehend how much damage you're doing. I think the game would crash because you just like, how many, what? Like, this would be the game. The other relic it can hold is a trap. We didn't really talk about it, but to be fair, I don't really like traps much anyway. Like, I don't think traps, unless they're like legendary now, because like the golden ones are starting to see less and less usability. Or like, they're not saying less, but like they're not as helpful because everyone's running like Oceana or something like that, the fish head lady. Like, that's not doing them any good. There's a lot of stamina draining, right? But it's only good when they're all drained. I guess I wouldn't say that. No, I take that back. Traps are still good, but it's whatever, I think. Yeah, it's alright, but and it's not as good as the essence. The main story is Earl Essence is dumb on this, and this thing steals war coins. This thing eats legendary monsters. And I think one of, like, a good justification, too, is to run all single target skills, right? Yeah, I'd say, like, if you want to do a for sure guaranteed something dies, I'd say you run all single target skills. Like, why not? Like, if you're putting this on defense, I'd say that's the best thing, because you're going to see those situations where it does go for an area skill, and they have, like, a Wormlad or a Grakon. So I think a good defense build, if you want to be Warcoin Stealer McGee, you run all single target skills, and you OHKO things. For sure, yeah, you will take a coin. So run a speed, run 2 damage. If they kill your Moochy unwisely, if they don't let it die from DOTs, you steal a coin from them, teach them a lesson. Show them who's the better leader, who's the better Moochy, the better Moocher. Steal some more coins off people, make them mad. We're all wrapping up the video, but overall, I'd say Moochy is an excellent mythic monster to be added into the game. Do I think it's healthy for the game? I don't know, because here's the thing, right? Things are already dying maxed out anyway, so I don't really know if it really affects the game at all, because things like Nor are already OHKOing things, things like Nightingale OHKOing things. Another thing too, he doesn't have any extra turns, so he's only ever to do one thing at a time, and then you can disrupt in between. I don't think it's a monster that you can't manage. I just think it's a monster where if you don't have anything to address that Uriel's essence, like, you will lose a coin in war. Like, you could lose multiple coins in war. I think that's the big issue, right? It just seems good at stealing coins. Like, it's really good. How can you say that a monster with Ariel's Essence that does 50% damage permanently, that you've now just revived, that's now just revived, and you can do anything he wants. All of his cooldowns are available. Not busted, I guess. So I think it's a good monster. I just don't think it's like, it's not a Nor, right? It's just like, it doesn't have, area clear if they don't, like, let's say if they're not running area dodge, right? Then it can do whatever, but a lot of things nowadays have things to avoid area skills. Or like evasion too. This thing has trouble with evasion. Like there's an answer for it, but if you don't have those answers, you probably will lose all the coins. You'll probably lose the fight. Because Aerial Essence is really strong. And this thing, just needs to turn into kill something. It's a big bursty boy. Yeah, Barbayel. Yeah, we just talked about that earlier. So yeah, if you have Barbayel and you have another full team speed monster like a Megaton monster, that's a strategy you could utilize. If you won't be able to do anything, period. So it's one of the things you could do. Overall, again, fantastic monster. Do I think it's game breaking? I think in situations it can be with Uriel's Essence, but that's about it. I'm gonna hate seeing this in war, kind of, because Uriel Essence is such a strong strat because you just let it die. It gets revived again, and it just eats something. I think running just like a full team with Uriel's Essence is a must too. Like every single monster on the team needs to be able to revive now if we are getting this monster, because you're gonna lose a coin otherwise, or like it's gonna be harder to win those defense fights. It is an underrated monster. I don't think it's bad. No. Okay, for the record, outright, I do not think the monster is horrible. I think this is a really strong monster. Do I think he's like Nor strong? No, I don't think he can wipe maps instantaneously unless you are not really having any problems with their traits. I think traits play a huge part in this game, but right now we have a lot of things that give evasion, that give area dodge. I think just those specific things just kind of foiled it, right? If it's not able to kill the specific things. It doesn't give any care about tanks. This thing eats tanks. This thing eats tanks. The only thing it's only worried about is being denied the right to eat you, like stuns or freezes, right? I think War Masters might be a good idea too. I think he's busted with War Masters. Yeah, you run him with War Masters like Thalassia or like Gortok, and it's beautiful. Like, you're immune to stun, you're immune to freeze. Can't be stopped unless possessed. Okay. But yeah, other than that, pretty solid. Not a bad monster. Hope you guys got him in the event. Thanks to a quick shout out to my team. Thank you all for getting the fraternity events. That was really lovely of you guys. We actually all have him now at rank 1 for sure. And I can't wait to show you some gameplay for it. I'm Dim the Awesome, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'll catch you guys later.